Hey guys, welcome to another Beach Spirit Talk. I just want to read you a little bit what I'm reading here. It's pretty powerful, so let's do this together. The theme running through both these dialogues was the idea that it was necessary to be unhappy in order to change. Bruce DeMarco, the creator of Opinion Method, posted a simple but powerful theory about why people experience unhappiness in any form, be it fear, anger, sadness, depression, or misery. And here's what he states. The only reason why you are ever unhappy is because you think you should be. So think about that. It's kind of a crazy statement. Do you know what I mean? Let me just speak on my life. It's kind of like, so I was thinking about that, and I was thinking about one of the biggest challenges I had was when I went through I've been married 2 times. I've been with Josh now. We've been together like almost 17 years. And when I went through my first marriage, I went through divorce, I went through literally like the worst depression. I was so depressed. I was so upset. I was so like disappointed in myself for the choices. I feel like I failed him. I failed his family. I failed my family. The biggest one and probably the hardest one for me was that I feel like I failed God. And that's what was like, that was probably the most difficult one, was just feeling that I failed God. And I mean, that really took me out. I remember started drinking. I started just doing stuff that I just shouldn't have been doing. I was with the wrong crowd. I was dating the wrong guys. And I just really blamed myself. I was like angry with myself. I was angry that I had achieved somewhat success, but then I failed. But it's interesting now as kind of time goes by, and when I read that quote, let's just read that quote again. The only reason why you are ever unhappy is because you think you should be. So that's kind of harsh, right, if someone were to tell you that. But if you kind of think about it, it's like, it's interesting. The author also uses an analogy of like when one of his students said, so in other words, you're telling me when my wife just died that I should not be sad about it. And he said, you know, he wasn't telling him what to be, but he said, what would it be like if you had peace about it, or you had love about it? And that's a pretty interesting thing to think about, because we always think like if we lose someone, we're supposed to be like really sad about it and show that. For me, when I went through my divorce, I was like, I literally went to a low that I'd never experienced ever in my entire life. And you just kind of think like, why did I do that? I was like beating myself up. He says fear, depression, what is it? Fear, anger, sadness, depression. So think about that. Are you fearful? Are you angry? Do you have sad? Do you have depression? Are you miserable about something? Think about that situation and just ask yourself, you know, could I change my mindset, and could I instead be, for me, I look back now, and could I be more forgiving? Could I be more loving to myself? One of the main reasons that I went through the divorce is I just felt like spiritually we were just not connected, and there's so many differences that we had. We had a lot of beautiful things, but we also had a lot of differences. And it's like, if I look at those, I'm glad I made the changes, because the husband and who I'm with now loves animals, he loves photographs. We have so many of the same things alike, right? So I look back and I'm like, wow, you know, I did need to go through that. I did need to have growth. I also got reconnected to God in the process. I recommitted my life to Christ. So it's like, gosh, yeah, those are things that had I not gone through that, I would never have seen that. But I also think, wow, if I could just espouse that little bit of wisdom too to anybody that's going through something tough right now. Is there any way, you know, like one of the other things he says in there, he's talking about a breakup. He had a client, and the client was, you know, no, I don't love her anymore. And he was like, no, that's not true. You do love her, and you don't want to be with her. So in other words, like, we have it that if you break up, you have to not like the person. But what he's saying is you can still love the person and still know that you're not right for them. Another example he said he used was someone who had a job, and she said she hated her job and wanted to quit her job and start something new. And he said, how would it be if you loved your job and you still wanted to make a change? And his quote is, whatever you are doing in unhappiness in life, if you are happy, you could create or accomplish more. So think about that. What are you going through right now in your life where you could switch your mindset to a position of happiness, find that happy within yourself? That's pretty powerful. So like for me, some of the challenges that we have is paying rent every month. You know, how are we going to get the money to pay rent? And it's like, instead of getting stressed out about that, how could we have a conversation about that that could be creative? Having a garage sale, having an estate sale, selling more stuff on eBay, etc., etc. When I get stressed out at work because I get too tired, how could I, instead of being down on my job, still love my job, but maybe love myself more and take care of myself more? Do you know what I mean? It's pretty powerful. I kind of really want to sit with this. Let me know your thoughts and what you guys think. Pretty powerful. So think about that. Whatever you're doing now in an unhappy state, you could be accomplishing a lot more in a happy state. So pretty cool. All right, you guys, that's my little ocean spirit talk. I'll catch you in our next little chat. Love you guys. Bye. Mwah.